Right now, 8:33. It's 60 degrees on the boulevard. And we do begin that conversation in a series of conversations we're going to be having this month, Michele, about mental health awareness.
Yeah, so May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I thought it would be a good idea to kind of highlight some local organizations and businesses, that provide services for those kind of seeking help, or maybe if you know somebody that needs to see a counselor or just even bring more awareness to it, because Ryan, mental health is one of those things where we don't really talk about. And as we're getting more into, the times and the things that are going around, it has become more prevalent. And I think that this is definitely a topic that we need to talk about more. So with that, we have two folks from New Life Counseling. We've got Candy Bond. She's the manager over there. And then we've got a licensed professional clinical counselor, Patricia Small. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Very good.
So first of all, you guys walked in wearing green, and I said, did you plan that? And you kind of did. Tell me about that.
Well, green is the color to represent Mental Health Awareness Month. I did not text Candy this morning, but we both know that it's Mental Health Awareness Month, but I debated whether to wear a t-shirt or a blouse. So anyway, here we are in green.
That's 31 days of green.
I know. Are you going to wear green every day?
I could, because green is my absolute favorite color.
Well, it looks great on you.
Thank you.
You're in the perfect career path, too.
I know, right? So tell us a little bit. I'll start with you, Patricia. Tell us a little bit about what you do over there at New Life Counseling.
Well, I provide counseling services for as young as age 3 all the way through life. Mm-hmm. I do a lot of trauma therapy. I see a lot of children and more adolescents, and work with a lot of adult women, and just really have a passion for what I do.
That's got to be such a rewarding yet sad, I don't know how you do that every day, difficult situation.
It's very important to implement our own self-care as mental health counselors. One of the honored privileges that I have is to provide that safe space for someone coming in during a very difficult time in their life.
Right.
And I hold that place as confidential, so that's with me. Mm-hmm. But when I leave work, I have to find ways to separate myself from that for my own mental health.
What a blessing you are to go into that profession to, help folks that need it. And Candy, we were talking a little bit off the air about how mental health there's just such a stigma around it. And folks, I don't know why we're embarrassed to talk about it. Does it show a sign of weakness? I just wish that we could be more vocal and talk more about it. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that the hard part is that people do have this idea of mental health or mental health issues or mental illness. And a mental health issue doesn't just mean somebody's having a psychotic break or somebody's schizophrenic. Mental health covers a wide variety of different things. We are talking about things like anxiety, depression, grief, relationship issues, parenting issues. All of these things create challenges for us on a daily basis. Somebody will say, oh, I was so nervous about something, and they don't connect the dots that's anxiety. Nervousness can be anxiety. Mm-hmm. Somebody can be sad as an emotion, but when sadness lingers, it can be depression. And making sure that you are able to find somebody to talk to figure out what's going on in my life, what's going on in my world that's making me feel the way I am, and how can what kind of tools can they give me to assist me to feel better about my life. We always say, if you have a broken arm, you don't hesitate to go to the emergency room. If your tooth is hurting, you don't hesitate to go to the dentist. It should be the same thing. If you are having some type of a situation in your life that is causing you to feel emotionally or mentally unstable or drained in some way, contact a mental health professional, because they can help you.
And when you at New Life Counseling are seeing people come in the doors for the first time, What is that trigger that's getting them to finally take that step? And maybe it's not finally. Maybe they're on top of it. Are they being referred? Are they? I guess if someone's out there listening to this, wondering if maybe they could benefit from it, what is it that's finally getting somebody through the door?
There's a lot of different things. We do get referrals from physicians if you go into your physician, and most physicians now will do an anxiety and depression screening at every physical, every time you go into the doctor. So sometimes we do get referrals based on that, but a lot of times it's just people calling in. They're having a tough time. They're having relationship issues. Maybe it's marital issues. Maybe they're having an issue with their child. Something's going on with their child at school. They've lost a partner or a parent or anything like that. So we get a lot of calls that are really just random, people just calling in. They know that they need the help. And I do know that we have seen an increase over the last several years of people seeking help. So to me, that means or makes me feel like maybe we are breaking a little bit of the stigma, that it's not a bad thing to seek help.
Speaking of coming in that first initial visit, what is that first initial visit like for somebody who is going to be a new patient, say they were referred, or maybe like Ryan said, just a walk-in? What is that first step like?
Well, after they fill out the questionnaire to get the counseling services that they're wanting, then they're scheduled with a counselor. And so I'll speak on that regard. So when I see a client for the first time, I'm gathering as much information. This is how I explain it. I'm going to gather as much information as I can today. And this will be different than our future counseling sessions, because I want to know as much as I can today, so I know how best to tailor your treatment to help you.
And do you guys accept insurances? I know, because now, like you mentioned, when you break your arm, you go to the emergency room. If you go to a dentist, you have a toothache or something like that. In the same regard, would you have like an insurance claim with all that, or is that out of pocket?
Yes. No, we are in network with almost every insurance company you can think of. We are in network with Medicare, Medicaid, all of the local and national insurance companies that there are. So everyone, for the most part, has mental health benefits. And every time somebody calls in, that's the first thing we do is we contact the insurance company to check to see what their mental health benefits are, so we can let them know this is how much it's going to cost you. This is what it's going to be like. It used to be years ago, you were limited in how many sessions you could have. It might be that you could have one a month. But now there is no limit. You can go to counseling basically every single day if you need that, and insurance will pay for that. We also have self-pay rates for individuals who don't have insurance. And we also do a lot of EAP or employee assistance programs. We have some of our own that we have written with different companies within the area, but then we are also a national EAP provider as well.
I think with insurance companies kind of expanding their benefits, that also kind of tells me that we're breaking the stigma a little bit, if it's getting all the way up, because insurance companies, we all know that they can be a pain in the butt sometimes.
Yes.
And with that, I think that is showing that we need this. And it's everybody. It's not just, like you said, those who are having, quote, a psychotic break or having a mental breakdown. I mean, everyone could benefit from counseling. Absolutely. What kind of counseling services do you provide over there, Patricia?
I provide many different types of counseling services. I see people for individual counseling using different modalities, cognitive behavioral therapy, trauma-informed therapy, DBT, many other. I won't get into all those modalities. I always, from the time I was in my schooling, getting my master's degree, I knew I was going to be an eclectic counselor, meaning I'm pulling from different modalities. Now there are those clients that I will stick with very certain treatment for them because that's what works best with them. But I work with my client. I want it to be personalized and tailored to what will work for them, So I provide individual, couples, child, adolescent, adult, and I I've worked with people, going through many different traumatic events in their life, whether that's early childhood, adult, grief, depression, anxiety, OCD, and
all of it.
the many others.
Broad spectrum.
Broad spectrum, yes.
And for somebody who might not be familiar with the process, which is, I'm going to imagine, unfortunately, a lot of people, I wouldn't start going to the gym and in the first week expect to get in shape. How can you set expectations when you start counseling?
I think it's very important in that initial appointment for them to understand this is a journey, right? When we've got 20 pounds to lose or we're out of shape, I mean, although we have that wishful thinking sometimes that, tomorrow I'm going to get on the scale and those 20 pounds are going to be off. No, it doesn't work like that. We have to establish that goal and we break that down into more smaller goals. And then we implement the strategies, those coping skills that can help, begin to reduce whether it's depression, anxiety, those symptoms so that person can begin to feel empowered. Because like when we start a new healthy eating plan or we go work out, we feel empowered when we begin to do that and see the results. It's the same with mental health counseling. And that's what I believe in. Like, it is not, if I'm doing more of the work than my client is, then it's all backwards. But if I can tell them and share with them things that help them feel empowered, that I know something that can help me, I have coping skills on those really rough days that I can go to, and this is going to help. That is the rewarding part for me as a counselor, when I hear my clients come in and say, it's working, and there's going to be setbacks, right?
Of course.
Just like when we eat that donut and we get on the scale the next day and it shows up.
Yeah, somehow it's a heavier donut than what I actually ate.
Too much cream filling.
No, yeah, I completely understand what you mean there. Yes. But see, talking to people who actually know what they're talking about really is helpful.
Yes. So for those who may not know where New Life Counseling is, where are you guys located? What are your hours? And how do we get in touch with somebody, if they want to, benefit from your services?
Sure. We are located in downtown Dover. We're on the corner of West 3rd and Walnut at 130 West 3rd Street. We see people both in office and through telehealth. The pandemic changed life for a lot of healthcare, but specifically for mental health care. One of the things that has happened over the years is we would have people who really needed the help, but some people have paranoias or are too afraid to leave their home or can't, or there's transportation issues. We live in a rural area. The beauty of the pandemic was that it opened up the doors for telehealth because we weren't allowed to do it before. Right. Now we are, and now insurance pays for it. So we can see somebody both in the office, we can see them through telehealth. We see people all over the state of Ohio because of that.
Wow.
You can contact our office at 330-343-6600. You can go to newlifedover.com on the web. We have a Facebook page. We have a Twitter page. We try to stay as socially relevant as we can. And all you have to do is call in. We have a great admin staff who are willing to take your call, gather a little bit of information. We send out a registration link to clients to register to become a patient. And then everybody nowadays has portals. And we load your documentation into your portal. That information gets completed. And then it actually helps because it transitions the information that you have written into the document that the clinician actually gets to see and do their notes on. So it's been a wonderful way that we can do that now. But it's a simple process. We have about 16 counselors and clinicians. Wow. So we try to pair you with the clinician that we feel is going to do the best job for you based on what the symptoms you're having and what the skills that each one of our clinicians, handle. We have, as Patricia stated, we see people from the age of 3 all the way up until we've had people that were 99. Wow. So we see a wide variety of people.
That's amazing. And just bless both of you for what you do, because I think it's so needed, and not just in today's time, but just overall in general in day-to-day life. We could all benefit from, mental health services in some capacity. Thank you guys so much for being here. Is there anything that we missed that you guys want to touch on before we wrap up?
I would just like to say one thing I read on Mental Health America: for every 350 people, there is one counselor. And so
Wow.
I just want to speak to the community and the audience listening that you matter, and how you respond to people matters, and to pay attention when someone doesn't seem like they're okay, to provide that safe place for them to open up and begin to talk and share. Don't use comparisons. Don't use words. There's so much about stigma. Let's remove the terms like crazy, psycho, nuts, because those are the kind of words that keep people from opening up and sharing. Mm-hmm. We all have had, I'm pretty sure, not to overgeneralize, but at one point or another, we have all had times where we've had some mental health concerns that we needed someone to talk to. So to all of those people out there, we all need to just be kinder and to provide safe place for people to open up.
I think that's a beautiful way to end it. That was great. Candy, thank you so much for being here. Patricia, you guys
You're
are
welcome.
fantastic. If you guys need anything, we will put this stuff up on our Facebook page, New Life Counseling. They are located at 130 West 3rd Street in downtown Dover. You can find them online at newlifedover.com.